I want to preface this story with two things. First, flares are an amazing tool. If you have ever been driving and thought to yourself, wow, all these other drivers are terrible and I hate them, then you can understand why it is concerning to have hundreds of them careening past you while on the side of the road, or worse, the middle of it. Drivers will hit cones, they will hit us, they will hit cars, and they will hit cars into us. But flares? Flares scare them. Nobody seems to want to run over a flare. Second, I am still very good friends with the other officer from the story. With those out of the way, this is the story of that time my ass almost got blown up. One night, towards the end of the shift, I got a call for a stranded motorist. The call said a large truck had hit something in the road and was leaking gas. When I got to the scene, I saw a large tanker truck stopped in the far right lane of a 3-lane highway. As I approached, I could see the lane was filling with gas leaking from the truck. I got up to the passenger's door and started pounding on the window and shouting at the driver to turn the engine off. He turned off the engine, and once I had gotten him out of and away from the truck, he told me that he had hit a piece of debris in the road and the impact had busted his drive shaft. As it was flailing madly, the drive shaft apparently punctured the gas tank. Another officer showed up on scene with me, and together the three of us were waiting for a highway unit to show up and take the scene. By this time, there was a sizable pool of gas that had started to fill the right lane. It was starting to make its way over into the center lane as well. While we were standing there on the side of the highway, I started to notice something was off. Do you smell flares? We look up the road, and there's another officer just popping flares and putting them down in the road. We started running up the shoulder, yelling at him to put those fucking flares out before he kills us all. He thought the truck had started leaking gas where it had come to rest, but the truth was we had no idea where it started, and he could have been throwing a flare down into the start of a gas trail that would have led to the gallons of gas currently pooling in the road. Fortunately, nobody died, but the lesson here is that if there's gas uncontrollably leaking from a vehicle and you need to close a lane, maybe skip the flares and use cones or your car. You may draw some idiot motorist in like a moth to a flame, but at least the entire scene won't literally go up in flames.